Much better. Father, I stretch my hands to you, for your love is what I've longed for. All I have ever done is to please you and show you that I can be a man too. So many nights I spent sitting alone in my own thoughts on how I could grow into a man, lower my voice, stand tall, make myself big, and all the while looking in the mirror dissatisfied at what I see. I locked away parts of myself to chase after you, so much so I started to hate you, resent you for being my father. But so much of me wanted to be you, so I asked myself, do I hate me? A question I've asked myself a million times as I looked in the mirror, reminiscing on the memories that invade their way into my mind, no matter how hard I tried to defend myself from it. Remember when I was 16 and I brought home my report card and I got all A's except for that one B. I thought that my status as an honor student taking college courses would have gotten your praise and admiration, but I was subject to your criticism. Why didn't you get all A's, you asked? And for that, I had no response. Silent, mostly, in shock, because it was that moment I felt nothing would be enough. I stayed up late, writing papers and creating physics projects. I worked hard, but it seemed it didn't matter. Breaking from this moment of realization, I landed on my mother's shoulders for comfort. She often was a soft spot for my tears to land, and with every tear that fell, I felt less of a man. I try to hold it back, but my body won't listen. And when I'm done, I feel relieved, but then I feel bad. Why can't I hide my emotions like a real man? Is it because I'm gay? Words I dared never say a few years ago, but a truth I have always known. Like when I was in 4th grade, and all the boys would talk about the girls they liked and how pretty they were. I used to join in to fit in, but I always knew it wasn't in me. No matter how hard I tried to force it, I couldn't feel the same until I looked into the eyes of one of my friends, and it all clicked. I thought, he's kind of cute. And at that time, I thought nothing of it, just a feeling flying away in the wind. It meant nothing to me at the time, but it wasn't until I paid attention to the words spewed in church that I felt this rush of shame and embarrassment, abomination, damnation, unnatural, hell-bound. In a place where love was preached, I was cursed. Now that I think back on it, sometimes I laugh. I don't know why. Maybe it's my way of taking control of a traumatic moment. Or maybe I laugh at the cliche. I, the son of a deacon turned minister turned pastor, is gay. Kind of poetic in its own way. And to get rid of the infliction, I turn to the holy prescription, baptism. I thought that by some magic, if I was submerged in the water, I would be immersed straight and okay. But alas, this was not the case. The water was indeed just that, water, nothing special. But I thought, maybe it didn't work the first time. So I tried myself a few times. Filling our tub with water and submerging myself, hoping they will all go away. But still, the same water. Maybe if I prayed harder, it would work. Nope, just words in the air going to waste. I guess I couldn't quite pray the gay away. So I drowned it. I spoke less, hid myself in the background, dampened my emotions, in the hopes that maybe that would be enough to permanently change my desires as a man. That didn't work either. So instead of destroying my desires, I expressed them in secret. In the darkness of a movie theater, I would sit next to a boy I was dating, hoping no one knew I was there. I would kiss in the back of stairwells and empty lots. Even my first kiss with a boy would be in the house of God. Somehow, out of all the other boys in our church, he spotted me. What can I say? Gay recognized gay. Alone in the choir room, we let our lips touch and our hearts sing. Surely we would burst into flames, I thought. I mean, we were sinning in the house of God. But as I waited, no flames came into existence, except the one dancing in my chest. No amount of holy water could put it out. In those moments of secret, I felt alive. I could let go and no one could ever see me. More specifically, my father could not see me. I thought I had reached a new level of freedom, but I found that I had simply escaped one cage for another. I split myself into two halves. One who was a model of everything a son could ever be, and another, the undesirable parts a Christian father would be ashamed of. It was a kind of purgatory living in two worlds, but I learned to cope. Being switched on and off like a light switch someone else was in control of. I thought that was a future I was destined to have, saint by day, sinner by night, all in an effort to pretend to be a man I wanted to be. At some point, I got a boyfriend who is now my fiance, Akeem, who encouraged me that life didn't have to be this way. He became a bright light in the dark tunnel of a road I walked. He helped unlock the cage I had willingly placed myself in, and I chose to fly out of it. You never know the weight of emotions. You never know the weight of emotions a secret carries until you let it go. You realize you feel lighter, you breathe easier, you walk differently. You are more at peace with who you are. I remember after coming out, my father telling me he loved me, and that love could conquer a multitude of problems. I understood the sentiment, but I kept getting stuck on the word problem. I know he said he loves me, but it feels like my existence still remains a problem that won't go away. We don't talk about it anymore. Like many things in many families, we swept it under the rug. I show up with my fiance now, no more hiding from me. And even though my father shakes his hand and is nice to him, I see the words he won't say. He never tells me it bothers him or how much he wants to scream having to deal with it, but I see it. He'll never tell me I'm going to hell, but he thinks it. How could he not? His guided belief tells him so. I was willing to suffer and destroy me to make others happy. So much so, I didn't know what makes me happy. Like baking. I love baking things. It's kind of therapeutic in a way. I tend to lose myself in the process. It's calming. I also love to write stories and escape into the world that I create and control. I discovered music I would have never listened to at first. I discovered me. And in that discovery, I found that there was no hate for you. It's overflowing love that has been dammed up by years of misunderstandings, miscommunications, and beliefs that separate us. You, a fatherless father, trying to be better than his pops who abandoned him at the drop of a hat. You turn to your holy father to fill the void your earthly father lacked the capacity to fill. I cannot be mad at you for your unintentional condition. So, Father, beyond all our differences and our divides, I love you. For that is what being a man is. Someone who doesn't snatch away love out of spite or differences, but who loves unconditionally in spite of, because that is what's natural. And Father, I know you love me. Amen.